Joining us this evening, RP Singh, spokesperson Bharatiya Janata Party, Nigat Abbas, spokesperson Congress, Ravula Sridhar Reddy, spokesperson BRS, Kovai Satyan, spokesperson AIADMK. I want to begin with Kovai Satyan. Also, for all our panelists, each of you will get a 2-minute timer and right when the time finishes, the fader will drop. Nobody else would be able to hear you. This is to give fair play to all of you. And we'll continue getting in reactions from the parliament and outside. Kovai Satyan, it's very interesting because where does the AIADMK stand? Are you going to abstain today where the Rajya Sabha is concerned? Where do you stand?
The stand on Waqf bill is clear. We want government to repeal this bill. So for the benefit of US, let me say this. The problem statement defined by BJP and their ally party is not clear with respect to this Waqf bill. So let's say there are 8.4 lakh immovable properties under Waqf board as of September 2024, out of which probably I don't know what percentage is in dispute. Is it 2% or 7% or what is this bill going to do about it? None of the states have completed the survey, including the BJP.
Let's cut across back to our guest. I want to go to RP Singh, spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party. RP Singh, you've got 2 minutes to make a pitch on why this bill should be passed. It was already passed in Lok Sabha. Today it faces the Rajya Sabha test. You have the numbers, but where debate goes, you heard Kapil Sibal, point by point rebuttal of JP Nadda.
Well, Kapil Sibal is a very learned lawyer, and he obviously is very knowledgeable also. He is the one who fought tooth and nail on the Ram Mandir bill also, on the Ram Mandir also in 2019. But that he can put his legal point, and those will be answered by the minister in the house. But let's put something like this. Total property of Waqf is something like 9.28 lakh acre right now. And the earning from that property is something like 10 crore rupees, whereas it was almost 166 crore rupees some few years back. Now, as per the Structure Committee report, minimum 10% return should be something like 12,000 crore rupees. And if that sort of money is there, then it will be used by whatever criteria they have. They can use it as they want to use it. Let them use that money. So he was right that Mutalbi were dishonest, and that's why please check on this. Yasin Malik's mall in the near the Lal Chowk is on the Waqf land, and there are many more. I mean, I'm not naming others because it can be a problem for others who are politically still active. But this is the state of the affair. And also, I have the copy of the act. Where does it say that it will occupy the masjid land? Where does it say that it will occupy the madrasa land? Whereas it says that madrasas and masjids will run as they are running, even if under the Waqf board land, because madrasas and masjids are run by the trust which manages madrasas and masjid. Waqf board is basically a property management board, and it's not me saying, this is High Court, which has Calcutta High Court, which has stated that and ratified by the Supreme Court later on, that it is a property management board. So there's a property management board, and then how does it interfere into religious affairs? I'm shocked.
RP Singh, your time is up. We're going to circle back to you after 2 minutes. I want to cut across to Nigat Abbas from the Congress. What is your party pitch? Clearly, the bill will have passage. It had passage yesterday in Lok Sabha, and today will be cleared in the Rajya Sabha as well. But for a merit of debate, Nigat Abbas, why is your party opposing the bill?
Preeti, while the unemployment under BJP's rule for the Muslim community is at a historic high, the dropout for our children is increasing day by day because of the lack of opportunities we may get or we may not get. But the BJP is completely focused on the Waqf. I don't understand if it's the governance or just another way to politically distract the people, because they're completely, distracted from the real issues of the country and, of course, the Muslim community, but constant targeting on the institutions of the Muslim communities, the rights, the lands and everything else. It's not an amendment, Preeti, let me tell you. It's an attack. And why I say this is because the new bill enforces that the board should have the non-Muslim members, including the member of parliament from the BJP, the union minister from the central government, and the IS officers. It is not just an interference. It is a complete politicization of the religious institutions alone for the Muslim community. Because when we talk about the Hindu Endowment Act, the Hindu religious boards, when we talk about the Ram Mandir board, when we talk about any other Hindu temple board, they specify, the Bharatiya Janata Party specifies that there should be no non-Hindu member.
Ravula Sridhar Reddy, spokesperson BRS, with us, as long with other panelists as well. Mr. Reddy, where does the BRS stand?
Now, our working president of the party, Shri K.T. Ramarao, has made it very clear that our party will oppose this bill in its current form. And he also has actually appealed that the central government should be ready to hear the objections that various political parties have on the floor of the House as the discussion is going on. And we, as a party, also have 4 to 5 objections to be heard. And we wish and hope that the government will consider these objections. And in principle, we will oppose this bill in its current form.
What are the objections that your party holds, Mr. Reddy?
That we will speak, rather that we will mention on the floor of the House, and we will make it clear. We don't want this to be a point of contention at this point in time.
Okay, so you're going to oppose the bill today. But it's not really going to come to much, viewers, which we had stated. And why I say that is because what's happening right now on the floor of the parliament is debate. But when it comes down to the numbers hang heavily now in favor of the NDA. Earlier on, they had 125, the mark. The bill would have seen passage even if they had 119 votes. And now with BJD deciding that there is no whip, each of the 7 MPs is free to vote of their own volition. And many of those MPs could possibly move on towards the side of the NDA in voting in favor of the Waqf Amendment Bill. Once again, Nighat Abbas, we had cut you short. I'll give you 1 minute to complete your pitch and we'll go back to RP Singh.
Thank you. Thank you, Preeti. What I wanted to say is that by the new amendment, the graveyards, the mosques and the dargahs who do not have or possess a real record for that matter, or maybe a formal paper, would be considered illegal. Now, the real record or the formal paper is not because of the choice that the people who owned that property was not made legally, because at that point in time, when it had happened, the mosques, the dargahs and the graveyards were made. At that point in time, the real papers did not even exist. It was not a choice. So that would be considered illegal. How can you do that? Because when you consider Kashi Vishwanath and Ram Janmabhumi's historical evidences as the today's and current evidences, then how can you say that these mosques and graveyards and dargahs would be illegal because you do not have a paper record? Now, one more point, because the new amendment also says that the state's power would be taken and it would be given completely to the central government. Now, last I checked, we still live in a democracy. I mean,
okay.
Or maybe you think
Ma'am, your
that
time
the
is
state
up.
government's
We
not
gave you
capable.
2 minutes. Now, in totality, I want to switch back to RP Singh. I'll come back to you. Hold that thought. I'm going to come back to you because we have faders down. Nobody can hear you. There's no point. RP Singh, I want to get you back into this conversation. Explosive debates going on the floor of the Rajya Sabha. You saw that exchange between Mr. Rijiju, Nirmala Sitharaman versus Kapil Sibal, engaging at that. You have the numbers. Once again, going to circle back onto the various questions that have been posed by the opposition, RP Singh.
Well, they will be answered in the parliament by the ruling party, by our party, and by the other NDA members. But let me clarify a few things. Nikhat was just now saying that there are Hindu members. Again, I reiterate, this is a property management trust, property management board, not a religious board like Gurdwara Committee or others. And out of 11, there are only 2 Hindu members because there are disputes on Hindu members' properties also. Secondly, she said that where is the example where the other religious affairs are being managed by the people from the other religion? Azam Khan was the person who was managing the Kumbh in 2013, and everyone hailed it. No one objected to that. I mean, Kumbh, whereas it's a religious festival or a religious function, but it was managed by Azam Khan. Also, she said something about the properties being illegal and where the papers will come from. It has been stated that no one will touch any property till the time there is dispute. It will not be retrospective. It's just presumption. And there is no question of legal or illegal at all. That's why, as I said, they are trying to create a fear psychosis in the mind of the Muslims or the people from one sect, saying that, oh, your properties will be snatched. As I remember CA, your citizenship will be taken away. I'm still waiting for any Muslim to stand up and say that my citizenship has been taken away by the government or I've been told to go from the country. No. Similarly, because they have a political agenda and narrative to build up, and they are using this as a tool to do that. Whereas, fact is, if I go by point, the separation of trust from Waqf, it is first time that Waqf will be separate from the masjid and the other trusts. And then still,
okay, sir, your time is up.
You're going to give their land to the...
Okay, sir, your time is up. I'm sorry. And I want to bring in Nikat Abbas to answer that. Nikat Abbas, your time starts now, and we're going to cut across to a face-off that ensued earlier today, where you had the Minority Affairs Minister and you had Nasir Hussain, Dr. Nasir Hussain from the Congress. Go ahead, Nikat Abbas, make your pitch.
So first, I'd like to recorrect Mr. Singh that it is not the property management board. It's a completely religious board because the mosques, the dargahs are being managed by the Waqf, if you did not know that. And like I said, maybe the voice did not go like you told me, Preeti, that the new amendment takes the power from the state government and brings it back to the central government as a whole. Now, I want to know, like I said, that last I checked, we still live in the democratic nation. I mean, rather, either you convert the country into an anarchy because, or you think maybe the state governments are not capable enough of managing the religious institutions which comes under their power. Why to even elect a chief minister then? Why to even form a state government then? Now, like, you know, Preeti, I mentioned that the real issues, they're just sidelining. The Bharatiya Janata Party focuses on sidelining the real issues and bringing the Waqf and the Hindu-Muslim, issues. Now, because I want to ask Mr. RP, when you say about that, you know, you're bringing the changes for the Muslim community, it is for the betterment of the Muslim community. I'd like to know, and you should tell me, that the unemployment rate among Muslim increases from 2.4% to 3.2% in the Bharatiya Janata Party from 2019-20 to 23-24. 23.1% Muslim students are dropping out of schools. You do not do anything, and we specifically talk about the state-wise data. In Uttar Pradesh, it is the maximum 36.3% precisely, and 26% in Jammu and Kashmir and Maharashtra 8.5%. You do not do anything for their benefit. You've constantly snatched away the scholarships from the Muslim community which were given by the Congress's party, like the pre-matric, the post-matric, the NEMF, the skill development and the Padho Pradesh. In the middle of their scholarships, the students had to leave their studies and go back to their homes, lose the opportunities because Bharatiya Janata Party one fine day decided that we are not going to run up with this scholarships for the minority communities. That is where we needed the help and you were not there. Now the salaried employment...
Okay, ma'am, your time is up. Your time is up.